Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode all the confusing stuff companies try to hide in plain sight. Today we're diving into Neurogene's latest proxy statement. It's like reading a novel where the main character is corporate governance. Let's just say, hold on to your hats, it's about to get wild and potentially rewarding for some executives. First off, this document is here because Neurogene is having its annual meeting, a yearly powwow where shareholders get to vote on important stuff. Neurogene wants you as a shareholder to vote on things like electing board members, making changes to their stock plans, and even giving a thumbs up or down on how well they're paying their top executives. It's like a report card but with real money attached. This is just a standard filing, so no filing fee is required, which is always a good start. This year, like many others, the annual meeting is going virtual. That means instead of a stuffy room and bad coffee, you get to attend from your couch. Neurogene says this saves money and makes it easier for everyone to participate. The meeting is scheduled to take place in June XT. Now, what's on the agenda? You'll be voting on board members, specifically Sarah Noonberg and Keith Woods. You're also being asked to approve some changes to their stock plans. These changes are all about making sure the company can keep attracting and paying talented people with stock options. It also includes a non-binding vote on executive compensation and a ratification of the appointment of Deloitte and Touas as their independent auditor. The board suggests you vote for all these proposals. They usually do. If you want to submit a proposal for next year's meeting, mark your calendar for around the end of the year. If you miss the deadlines, your voice might not be heard. So the main proposals you'll be voting on include electing those 2 directors, tweaking the stock plans, giving an advisory opinion on executive pay, and ratifying the auditor. For electing directors, it's a simple numbers game. The people with the most votes win. For everything else, it needs a majority vote to pass. Keep in mind, if you don't vote, it could affect the outcome, especially on those non-routine matters where your broker can't vote for you. They are delivering these documents to you electronically to save on costs. Let's talk a bit about the board itself. How do people even get on the board? Well, it starts with the Neurogene Committee, which looks for qualified candidates. They consider a bunch of factors from experience to industry knowledge. Neurogene has rules about how many boards a director can sit on, trying to make sure everyone has enough time to focus on Neurogene. The company's CEO, Rachel McMinn, is also the executive chair of the board. A dual role, it gives her a unified vision on both the management and board levels. The board has committees like the Audit Committee, which keeps an eye on the finances, making sure everything is above board. There's also the Compensation Committee, responsible for determining compensation for the company's executive officers. The board has an oversight role for the big risks. Insider trading policies keep everyone in line. Nobody is allowed to do anything shady. Moving on to the folks running the show, Rachel McMinn, Christine McHale, Julie Jordan, and Stuart Cobb are the executive officers. They're the team steering the ship. Christine McHale, the president and chief financial officer, leads the corporate strategy, operations, and finance. Stuart Cobb serves as chief scientific officer. Now, for the part everyone's been waiting for, the money. The compensation table tells us what the top execs made. Let's look at Rachel McMinn. Her salary was $595,000, not bad, plus a bonus and other compensation, bringing the total to roughly $3,462,000, and Christine McHale's total was about $3,362,000. These numbers include stock options, which could be worth a lot more or a lot less, depending on how the company performs. A portion of Dr. McMinn and Christine McHale awards vest upon clinical development performance in case the clinical trials for the NGN-401 therapy goes successfully. This table details outstanding equity awards. It's where we see unexercised options that haven't vested. If Rachel McMinn gets terminated under certain conditions, like after a change in control, she gets a payout of 1.5 times her salary and bonus. It's called a golden parachute for a reason. Neurogene can claw back compensation if an executive messes up. The board uses a mix of company measures and financial targets to align executive compensation with company performance. The non-employee directors got around $600,000 each, mostly in stock options. Cash retainers were far less than that. Now, who owns this company? Well, entities affiliated with Samsara Biocapital own around 12% of the stock, while other major holders like EcoR1 Capital and Red Mile Group each hold a bit less than 10%. Rachel McMinn as an individual holds around 9%. This table gives you a bird's eye view of the company's equity compensation plans, outstanding options. They got an extra $200 million by selling shares and warrants in a private placement. Corey Friedland sits on the board on behalf of Samsara Biocapital, so the fees are actually paid to Samsara Biocapital. They do have policies in place to manage any potential conflicts of interest. Actuso, what's the story here? Neurogene is a company trying to turn devastating neurological diseases into treatable conditions. They are paying their people in line with where they need to be given their goals. As always, this proxy statement is mostly asking for stockholders to vote to re-elect board members and approve the proposed changes, mostly as formalities. And now my opinion. Neurogene is a company with a lot of promise, but it comes with risks. They are still in a high-risk industry, but are financially stable due to the extra money from their recent share sales. However, that recent cash injection will require Neurogene to focus on clinical trials and business execution if its shares are to have meaningful increase in value. Cam Sevilla Figurne Vision, and thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, give us a like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What other companies should we decode next?